Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys here on this Friday, the 23rd of April, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, guys, I got good news for you guys. You guys have been following this story, of course. Uh, the Russia in Ukraine, they're pulling the troops back. Very good news. For you guys that aren't following the story, there was considerable tensions being built in that area of Ukraine on near the border there, near those eastern Ukrainian cities, with 150,000 Russian troops that were moved into the area. So now the troops are starting to be withdrawn, but they're going to leave their weaponry in place, but they're pulling the troops back. This is very good news. Anyway, we got more stories to talk about, so we're going to have to get the charts open. Just a second here. I got to get rid of this thing. Okay, let's start the charts right here. Take a look at what's going on. The first thing we're going to take a look at is the silver price today. It's taking a real little tumble here. It's creating a buying opportunity. Anytime silver goes down now, this is a buying opportunity. Because I'm going to tell you, it's a very limited period of time now before the silver price has to catch up with the price of everything else. Silver isn't created by the tooth fairy. They have to go down in these mines and they have to dig out ore, which is the rocks, basically. They have to crush them into a powder. They have to mix them in big slurry ponds and add chemicals to them and stuff. It's a long, long process. And the ore grades, the amount of silver that they get out of a ton of rock, is dropping. And it's going to continue to drop into the foreseeable future. You can't make anything without silver. All these things, your cell phone, it's even in your clothes. And so the world needs silver for industry. Unlike gold, gold's a totally different animal. Gold's not so much an industrial metal. They do make jewelry and stuff out of it, but most of the gold ends up in blocks, and they store it away and back in the vault. And that's what happens to gold. So they've been accumulating gold, and there's more gold out there than there is silver. A lot of people don't know that. So why is the silver price so cheap when they're hauling it out of the ground at a ratio of 9-to-1? That means they get 9 ounces of silver in their mining production. They get 9 ounces of silver for every ounce they haul out of gold. So the price actually should be around 9-to-1, the ratio. That would mean that we would already have a silver price that would be like many multiples higher of what it is right now. Anyway, so silver is the buy of the century out there, and it has been for a while now. It hasn't really taken off yet, but when it does, it's going to be too late for soresies. Too late for soresies. If you're left behind, and you haven't got any silver, when silver finally takes off, then it's too late. You're not going to be able to catch it. Gold has taken a $12 hit. Right now, we're in the middle of this hit. $17.71 for gold. Let's take a look at cryptos. Now, I'm going to tell you about crypto. I think crypto right now is going through what's called a correction. This is very healthy within the confines of your bull market. I don't think the bull market's over. I think this is a correction within the bull market, which is bullish. This is a bullish correction. So I don't think the bull market's over for crypto right now. I really don't. I don't think this is the big end for the price, and we've had our rally and it's over and everything. I don't think so. I think this is just a correction within a greater bull run that's going on. It's going to continue. I think this is going to continue. So what does that mean? Probably. Now, this is not financial advice, but this is just what I'm thinking, I'm thinking that this bull market still got steam coming. So what would that be? It'd be a buying opportunity that has been created for people who want to get into crypto. I'm going to tell you about crypto. You've never messed with crypto before? Cryptocurrencies, you got to be awfully careful. What I would say to do is to start really slow and learn how crypto functions. Learn how to copy paste your wallet address. Learn how to send crypto across the internet successfully. Don't go out there and buy like $20,000 worth of Bitcoin or something, and then you don't know how to send it, and you get a number wrong or something in the wallet address, and you send it off into oblivion. You don't want to do something like that because you don't know what you're doing, you know. It's not as simple as buying precious metals. Precious metals, you pay your money, they deliver whatever, you know, or whatever to, and you put it in storage or whatever, you know. Uh, and it's simple because it's in your hand. It meets the criteria of things that you've purchased all your life. When you purchase something from Amazon, they bring it to you and you put it in your hand. Crypto's not like that. You can't put it in your hand. You have to put it in some sort of a digital wallet or something, you know. The best place to store crypto is keep the private keys yourself offline. That's the best way to store it, you know. And that way nobody can hack you. You know, because there's programs out there where people will, there's things called ransomware that they can actually uh, freeze your, lock your computer or whatever. You know, there's all kinds of different junk out there going on. Let's take a look now at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, 33,971. It's up 155 points today. So the rally hasn't concluded in the Dow. I don't see it concluding, and this is what you know, these guys out there are saying, okay, we're going to have a 70% crash, an 80% crash. I said, yeah, we could. January, February, and March, I told you guys, we were in danger of having a big crash in the Dow. That was a danger period, and I told you guys about it over and over again during those months. I said, we could have a crash. But we're coming out of that danger period now. We're moving into a period now where there's starting to be growth in the economy again, created by all this stimulus. And I told you guys about this economic recovery. I said it's not going to be a real big time economic recovery. I said it's going to be like a tepid kind of economic recovery where we have we start to establish a new normal. You know, it's kind of like it's not going to be great. It's not going to be a fantastic recovery, but the recovery's here now. The recovery I talked about like 6 months ago. It's starting. It's here. When all these other guys out there were saying, okay, we're going to doom. We're into the greatest depression ever. It's not going to go away for 30 years, is what they were telling you. I was saying economic recovery. Now we're in the economic recovery. You can see it starting, you know. Now I'm telling you doom's coming in the form of hyperinflation. And I've been saying this for a while now. Second half of 2022. So you got a little bit more than a year to prepare for the hyperinflation that's coming. And it's going to destroy you savers. If you haven't prepared, it's going to pension accounts, pension fund, everything. You're going to get your money. Yeah. The banks are going to stay open. They're going to give you your money. But what can you buy with it? That's what's coming in 2022, the latter half of 2022. It's going to make everybody so poor because wages aren't going to keep up with it. You know, it's just a total mess. And every time the government tries to stimulate more to help everybody, it's going to make things worse because it's going to make the inflation even go up higher. There's no solution to this. There's no way out of this. There's no magic pill we can take. We're going into it. The only solution to it would be for them to completely withdraw all support from everything and just kind of tighten. The Fed to go through a tightening policy. If they do that, that would be worse than the hyperinflation, because that would be instantaneous. The system will go down instantaneous. See, the hyperinflation is going to slowly take the system down. It's going to erode the system, but it's not going to be an instantaneous crash. And because of that reason, only parts of the system are going to shut down, not a total shutdown. Whereas if we were to have a tightening, a really severe tightening where the Fed stuck to their guns, no more money, no more support, everything would completely fall to the ground. And it would be total devastation. But the hyperinflation is not going to be total devastation. It's going to affect some people, and some people are going to make out okay with it. Are going to be better with it than other people. And where that's going to come in is how far out of the dollar are you? How much did you prepare ahead of time? That's going to reflect on you during the hyperinflation, how easy you have it. If you have it really hard, it means you didn't prepare financially. You didn't. You were all in dollars. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there that are in dollars right now, big time. And you're listening to these deflationist guys who are saying, "Oh, it's going to deflate." Do you really believe that something that they can print to infinity is going to go up in value? Is going to increase in purchasing power? How does that work? You better start preparing. And I know that there's a little bit of deflation out there right now. But you know what? The Fed has the tools to fight deflation. And they're not. That's why the Fed's kind of not scared of deflation. They're terrified of inflation. But there's nothing they can do about it. Except jawbone. That's all they can do about it. And their jawboning is part of what's keeping these deflationist camp out there. And the Fed enjoys that. They enjoy keeping the deflationist camp active. Because they enjoy a moderate amount of deflation. The Fed, they know they can control it. They enjoy keeping a moderate amount of deflation out there because it helps to keep the dollar from crashing almost immediately. It helps to support the dollar. And they're basically using you as suckers. The people who believe that the dollar is going to gain value. They're using you as suckers to maintain value in the dollar. And so they're keeping this narrative going. This deflation narrative. It works to their advantage. When they know the end outcome, just like I know the end outcome, the end game of all of this is going to be massive inflation. So where do you want your money? Do you want it in dollars that really have no intrinsic value whatsoever? Or do you want it in real physical silver? Think about that for a minute. And I know silver gets beat up a lot. It's getting beat up today. But that's the real money. The real money is gold and silver. It's not this stuff that they can print endlessly. That has no intrinsic value whatsoever. That's going to be proven in the end. Okay, let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil 62.41, and it's up a 98 cents, which is quite a big move for crude. Move index today 59.62. It's down. The move index is down quite nicely today. Move index is staying down now. It's indicating to me that there's a certain amount of stability in the credit markets. And the reason for this is because we're moving into this little bit of a recovery right now. Bonds and rates, we're looking at rising yields today. We're not real big time though, it's 1.6 on the basis points on the US 10-year. 1.57 on the US 10-year. 2.56 on the US 30-year. We got slight movement to the upside with yields. Now we're going to take a look at the US dollar index. Dollar index, 91.14. It was falling all morning. Now it's turned and it's starting to go up a little bit again. 91.14. And what do we got here? A new batch of stimulus checks are coming out, guys. As long as they keep this money punching out there, Now, here's another thing. I know the Fed can create money, but you know the biggest money creators out there of them all? is a fractional reserve banking system. When they get making loans, seriously start making loans, that's when the money starts to really flow into the system. And what happens is when we get a crisis, like the crisis that we just been through, the banks are scared. They don't want to make loans. And the reason why is if they get more than 10% of their outstanding, basically the bank like has a floor plan. They have like all of their capital put together, their everything. If they get more than 10% of that is in non-performing loans, they're in big trouble, And so they have to be careful about making these loans, even though when they make a loan, they create that money from scratch. The money didn't exist before they made the loan. Now the money exists, but the bank is on the hook for that. So when they see a time like we just been through, like the coronavirus crisis and everything, what they do is the banks haul their horns in, and they decide to only invest their money and only lend money to people who are qualified borrowers. In other words, they're very careful about who they lend money to during times like that. The economy starts to pick up and stuff, and new projects start to get underway and stuff. The banks get enthusiastic too about making loans. And so they lower their credit standards just a little bit. They'll let certain people in that have a good idea and can show where they're going to use the money. Say the guy wants to open a new business or whatever, and they start to lend again. They're the biggest money creators of the bunch, bigger than this than the central bank. So we've been being supported with central bank money, whereas the credit lending has been drying up. But now it's going to reverse again, the opposite way, because the economy's starting to pick up. And as it reverses, we're going through a mini credit cycle with this recovery. This is going to help to fuel the expansion of the money supply, and also it's going to start to pick up the velocity of money. If you watch the velocity of money like I do, I keep my eye right on the velocity of money, you'll see a turnaround. Now it's flat right now. It was going down, 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 and it hit a bottom, and it stopped the velocity of money. It quit falling. Now it's going along flat. I'll tell you what it's getting ready to do. That's a bottom. Like any chart, you can chart things. You'll see bottoms and make a bottom. It's made a bottom. Now it's getting ready to go up. It's going along flat right now, but watch. It's going to start to climb the velocity of money. Look out. Here comes the inflation. Big time. Catch you guys in the next show. You guys give me a thumbs up, likes, and all that stuff. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my show, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.